Alright guys, welcome to the Unit 2 Cycle 1 video for Level 3 Diamond. Today we're going to be learning about how to identify key features on a graph, and we're also going to learn about U2C, which is how we graph horizontal and vertical lines. So as a review, these are things you should have already done in Level 1 and Level 2, but let's take a look at this graph and identify the key features in that graph. So, first of all, it asks us for the x-intercept. So the x-intercept should be where the line here crosses the x-axis. Remember, this is the x-axis. The horizontal one is the x-axis. So where that line crosses the x-axis is right here. And if you count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that point is 6. So your x-intercept is 6. For your y-intercept, you are going to see where the line crosses the y-axis. So here's the y-axis. It is vertical. And this is the line. Where that line crosses the y-axis is right here at this point. You would go down 1, 2, 3, 4. So your y-intercept is -4. Pretty simple, right? Now we are introduced with this new word called zeros. So what are zeros? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm about to explain. Zeros are simply x-intercepts. It's just another way of saying x-intercept. So when you are asked what the zero is, just put whatever your x-intercept was. So in this case, our x-intercept was 6, so our zeros would be just 6 as well. We only have one x-intercept, so we'll only have one zero. Now for slope, we do rise over run. So as a reminder, we would go up from this point all the way to where we get to this point. So we would go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So our rise over run, right? To find slope, our rise would be up 4, and our run would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 6. So we did rise over run, and that can be simplified to 2 over 3. So our slope can be simplified to 2 over 3. Pretty simple. So this is where it gets a little bit trickier. We get it how we have a graph that has a slope, but what if we have a horizontal or a vertical line? Right? What do we do then? Well, we can use this helpful acronym called U2C. Okay? So this first row indicates the type of graph we're working with, right? This second row is going to indicate what our slope is when we have that type. And finally, this third row is going to indicate what our equation is for that type. Okay, so let's go through it nice and slow. The first type is horizontal lines. So if we have a horizontal line, again, that is a line that is going this way, left to right. Our slope is going to be 0. Okay, so our slope would be 0 with a horizontal line. As for our equation, it's going to be y equals a number. Okay, so instead of writing y equals mx plus b, it is simply going to be y equals, right, and whatever our number is for that horizontal line. Okay, let's try vertical. If we have a vertical line, that means our line is going up and down, right? And our slope would be undefined. That's what the U stands for. So our slope is undefined. We don't have a slope with a vertical line. It is undefined. Now for our equation, it would be x equals a number. Right? So holy bucks. This is an acronym to help you remember. So the H and the V symbolize our type. The O, which is really a 0, and the U symbolize what our slope is. So a horizontal line has a 0 slope. Vertical line has an undefined slope. Our equation for a horizontal line will always be written as y equals a number. Our vertical line, it will always be written as x equals a number. Okay, so now let's really try it out. And it asks, what are the equations of the following graphs? Well, let's look. Let's first ask, is this horizontal or vertical? Okay, this is a horizontal graph, right? So we know that this will be a slope of 0, right? But that's not what it's asking us for. It's asking us for the equation. Okay, so we know in our equation for a horizontal line it has to be y equals something. Now how we find that something is we look at the y-axis, right? And we look, where does the line cross my y-axis? It crosses it at 4. So I would put y equals 4. Simple enough. I found horizontal graph. This is a horizontal line. My slope is 0, and I write my equation as y equals 4. As a quick note, my slope would be 0, right? Because it's a horizontal line. My slope is always 0 on a horizontal line. Now for my vertical line, I look at, is this vertical? So I know that this is vertical, right? So I used hoy on this one. Now I'm going to use bucks on this one. So this is a vertical line, so that means my slope would be undefined, but my equation, which is what they're asking me for right here, would be x equals a certain number. And again, the way I found here was I saw where the line crosses the y-axis. On this one I'm going to see where the line crosses the x-axis. So this line crosses the x-axis right here at 1. So my equation would be x equals 1, because that is where it crosses the x-axis, my line. Okay, I used bucks, vertical, undefined, x equals. Again, this is the type, this is what's happening with the slope, and this is what's happening with the equation. Okay, now let's try a couple of these questions. This is more of a word problem. It says, what is the equation of a vertical line that goes through the point 1, 3? Okay, so a vertical line, with a vertical line in these problems, I'm going to look at what my x value is, because x equals a certain number. So all the way down on my vertical line, right? All the way down, all my x values are going to be 1. So my equation would start with x. You would equal 1, my x value. That's all there is to it. So with a vertical line, I use bucks. Right? I find my x value and I say x equals that x value. That's all there is to it. With a horizontal line, I'm going to use hoy. Right? And with a horizontal line, my equation is y equals. Right? So I would find my y value of 5, and I would simply say y equals 5. That would be the equation of my horizontal line. That would be the equation of the vertical line. Okay. So that's really all there is to level 3 diamond. Remember, Hoy bucks. The first one is the type. The second one is the slope. And the third one deals with how you write your equation. So now flip it over and work on these practice problems.